Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mukesh from the Tech Counselor team. I welcome you all for the today webinar for the International Training and Internship Program on opportunities for R&D and tech-driven startup. The program will be for the whole month, and we started this on 20th of June, and it will be till 15th of July. I'm very much thankful to all the team member as well as to my all audience and participant, and very much thankful to the uh, experts who have taken out their busy schedule for this with this big event, which will be happening for the whole month. I'm also very much thankful to my organizers, which include Tulas and Tech Counselor team, and as well as to the co-organizers, Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be University from Maharashtra, and then to technical sponsor, Uttarakhand Technical University and TCube. Also very much thankful to knowledge partner and technical partner, including Ramanujan Academy of Science and Technology, Yuvana Tech and Craft Private Limited, Swachh Neer, Bodhik Ventures Private Limited, Kaviraj Foundation, and then Triads. These all technical and knowledge partner will be supporting us throughout the event and will also help us in the mentoring of startups and people who might be interested with their entrepreneurial journey. Samuel sir, can you put the next slide? So
Sure.
today we have Dr. Samuel, Ms. Renu, and Professor Manoj Panda sir with us. And we have almost 15 plus experts for the whole event, which include Dr. Fabio Massi from Italy. Madan Kanala was with us on the second day. He is the founder and CEO for SNOM. Dr. Amit from Dubai will join us. Dr. Raman Sharma from CSR Niri will also be with us during the course of time period. Dr. Rajkumar Helder, CEO and founder, had also given his speech on the second day. Naveen Kumar Abhishek Gupta will also be with us from France and Hungary. Sip Prasad will be with us from Hyderabad. Vinay Chaudhary sir was on the first day and will also be in the coming days for IoT and practical approach trainings. Also very senior professor, which include Dr. Sunil Samwar from Tulas Institute. He's the HODM professor as well as the organizing secretary for the seminar, will also be having a session. Ajit Kumar Yadav, researcher at NASA ISRO SAR NISAR project, NISAR joint initiative between NASA and ISRO, and as well as he's the founder for the Ramanujan Academy. Maharashtra will also be taking a lecture. Yesterday we had Saurabh Trivedi with us, who is the founder and director for Bodhik Ventures Private Limited. From Tech Counselor team, Udayveer Mittal will also be taking one lecture on hardware and its applications for the IoT. Then Sakshi Gupta from Graphigera University will also be taking one lecture on rainwater harvesting. Dr. Jayant Pawar, Research Associate at Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be University, will also be taking one lecture. Ms. Renu Taplial, the founder and director for the Tech Counselor, as well as the founding member for Kaviraj Foundation, will be concluding the session on 15th of July. So these all experts will be giving a brief, you can say, insight on how R&D and this tech-driven startup can be helpful for the overall growth of the startup vision of the government of India. And also will be learning so much from their expertise, views, and all. Samuelson, next please. We had Vinay Chaudhary sir with us on the very first day, then Rajkumar Helder on second day, and then Madan Kanala, who is the founder and CEO from SNOM. Yesterday we had Saurav Trivedi with us. Yesterday we had Saurav Trivedi sir with us. He is the founder and director for Bodhik Ventures. Five of the startup can avail the benefit of trademark filing from them at zero professional fees. They'll be sponsoring the whole amount. Tech Counselor is research and development. It's Tech Counselor is a R&D driven company, also a recognized startup by Government of India and Government of Uttarakhand. And we do provide support with website development, with technology creation, on IP, on IoT, on embedded, and that kind of thing. So if anybody is having that kind of queries, they can always communicate with us. And again, I'm very much thankful to my all the organizers and co-organizers, especially to Dr. Samwal, Divaka Pant, Renu, and to my whole team. So today we will have Professor Manoj Kumar Panda sir. I request Dr. Samuel to please give a brief introduction about sir. Hand over to you, Dr. Samuel.
Okay. Thank you, Mukesh. I am Dr. Sunil Semal, organizing secretary of this event. Uh, Today I am introducing Dr. Manoj Kumar Panda sir. Manoj Kumar Panda sir is very well known academician He is professor in electrical engineering in Govindbanda Pant Engineering and Technology, Gurdwari. Dr. Panda did MTech from MNIT Bhopal and PhD from IIT Roorkee. Dr. Panda has 20 years of experience of teaching and research. He has joined GBPEC in 2002. Dr. Panda received Best Faculty Award in 2009, and Dr. Panda is the NBA expert and visited so many NBA visit in different colleges. Currently, Dr. Panda is working as a state program administrator in State Program Implementation Unit, which is the part of NPIU, National Program Implementation Unit. This project is funded by World Bank. The area of expertise of Dr. Panda is solar energy, control system, and many more. He has several papers in international journal, transaction, and international conferences. So today, Dr. Panda will enlighten us on sustainable future and scope of solar for startup. So I hand over my mic to Dr. Panda sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Samuel, for your nice introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Okay. Fine. I am very much thankful to Tulaj Institute, the faculty members, the head of the departments, the student counselor for organizing such a 1 month international training, an internship program. And when I got the invitation from Dr. Samuel and his team, that I am very much happy that that due to this pandemic period and lockdown period, even we are not able to meet physically, and even we are not able to conduct the internship program for the students physically at the either at the industry or at the academia. So this is a very good initiative by Tulaj Institute with the support of some technical sponsors, and mainly from Uttarakhand Technical University Dehradun, which is a part of the one of the affiliating university in Uttarakhand participating in TECU project. So without spending my time, I'm going to give a talk on this topic, that is sustainable future and scope of solar technology for startups, and that is for uh, mainly even this is I have prepared this for students community who are in the second year, third year, and final year, who are planning to be entrepreneur, and who are planning to open their startups after the undergraduate program. And there are different multiple areas in which you can plan from beginning, so that after the pass out you can concentrate fully for this type of research activities. And absolutely all of you are knowing that although funding is a problem, but we have got so many initiatives from the government of India, industries, banks, and academia institutions who are promoting for the startups and entrepreneurship for the undergraduate and postgraduate students. One and another thing I want to tell, that about our project, that is Technical Education Quality Improvement Program. This is the third phase going on by the Government of India and funding by World Bank. We are specifically, we have so many components for the students community, for enhancing the quality of teaching learning of the students, for concentrating on innovative projects, and for startups. We have so many groups are there also, they are continuously guiding, and funding is always there in TECU project for individual institutions and also the technical university. So now today I'm going to focus on the about the solar technology, how it can be giving a direction for startups purpose. And all of you as know that this is such a interdisciplinary area. It is not only the job of electrical people or mechanical people. It is such a interdisciplinary area, so many good talented students can combine together to concentrate on this particular area, and they are having a lot of opportunity in the coming future to establish from startup to a large sector industry also. So without spending my time, I'm going to proceed further. That This is my topic for today's talk: sustainable future and scope for solar technology for startups. And I'm going to full size the screen if it's visible. So these are the contents of my talk today. Uh, what is NPIU? Take up 3, role of the state project implementation unit. What we talk when we are talking about the startup, what we understand by startup ecosystems, and some brief idea about the solar technologies. Then whatever the different initiative of the government of India, and then specifically to on solar for startups. So as I'm just giving a brief idea about this implementation unit. Our National Project Implementation Unit, it is a unit of Ministry of Human Resources, Government of India, established in 1990 for coordination, facilitation, monitoring, and to provide guidance to the state governments and the institutions in all respect of the projects. Earlier, NPIO was dealing with the so many types of projects for the different technical institutions. But for the last TCUP 2 and TCUP 3 project period, it is only concentrating on the engineering colleges, technical universities to improve the quality. Because as we know that now we are competing with the international community, we have to increase the standard of the teaching learning process of the institutions so that our students and our faculty can compete with the international world. And as Dr. Samuel was telling earlier, that we are a permanent signatory of National Board of Accreditation of the Washington ecosystem. So when our students are going to passing out with a degree, what is the importance of that degree in the international level? That is important. So unless and if we are not going to increase the level of teaching learning, the sorry, the level of quality of the projects, innovations by the students and the academia and the faculty members who are involved in good quality research works. So we cannot compete. It is not easy to compete with the international community. Yesterday, we are getting in a newspaper that one of our students from Uttarakhand was able to get a job of 1 crore something per package per annum after doing MS from Texas. He was simply a graduate from, undergraduate from BITS Hyderabad campus. Now, the thing is that how we can change our attitude, how we can change our mindset to learn more, to work more, so that we never thought that we are less or lagging with the international community. So that's why NPIO is committed to to enhance the quality of the technical education in India in a large level with the different projects. Similarly, this is one of the projects as we are talking about. I am a part of this project for the last 10 years because I was involved in 2005 in the TICU first phase as the coordinator in my parent institute. Even in the second phase, I was the coordinator of this project in my parent institute. And also before joining here in this new assignment as a state project administrator for Uttarakhand State, I was also involved from the beginning of the project. So, just going to give you an idea about the TICU. The Project Technical Education Quality Improvement Program is fully integrated with the 12th Five-Year Plan Objectives of Technical Education. So, as a key component for improving the quality of engineering education in existing institutions with a special consideration of low-income states, special category states, and support to strengthen few technical universities to improve their policy, academic and management policy practices. Earlier in the TCUP 1 and TCUP 2 period, we have the government of India and NPIO was focusing on the all the institutions, selected institutions in every states and ITs. Now in this third phase, it is only focusing to the focus states and some low income states and some hilly states like Uttarakhand, Himachal, Jammu Kashmir, and some low-income states are there. And what is the beauty of this project is IITs, triple ITs, most of the NITs are also participating in this project as a mentor institution to guide the state level institutions. And good technical universities are also working as mentor of the newly born technical universities of different states like Himachal, Uttarakhand, UP, etc. And what are the objective of this TICU project is that to improve the quality and equity in engineering institutions in the focus states, system level initiatives to strengthen sector governance and performance, twinning arrangements to build capacity and improve performance of this particular point is not earlier there in any of the TECO project. So every institution has got a mentor institute. They are working as a twinning partner, having the established a collaborative research framework, having supporting for getting the NBA accreditation of the eligible programs. They are involved in delivering good quality lectures for the benefit of the students in so many areas where we don't have the faculty members available in their particular project institutions. So this is the way how PICUP is supporting for the improvement of the quality. Next, coming to my this project implementation unit office in Uttarakhand. This is guiding the 7 institutions: NIT, NIT Uttarakhand, and Affiliating Technical University. Total, we have 9 institutions in hand, and it's total 115 crore project. And it is started, although it is started in 2017, but the fund flow starts in the end of the 2017 and early 2018, and we are in the final year of the project. That's why we are much more focusing on supporting the students, faculty, and also enhancing the infrastructure facility. When I'm talking about enhancing the infrastructure facility, that does not mean the buildings, etc. We are focusing on improving the R&D laboratory facilities, basic laboratory facilities for the undergraduate students, digital learning facilities for libraries concerned. Similarly, students BTech supporting the funding the BTech projects of the good quality projects of the UG students, PG students. Also, it is supporting in the terms of scholarship to the PhD students, and also there is a mechanism of collaborative research programs between the faculty members of one institute with the other institutes or the universities. So this is a big project, and but the time big project in the terms of the money, in the terms of the budget, but the time duration is very small. That's why most of the institutions in India who are participating in the project, they are under tremendous pressure. Our faculty members are under tremendous pressure to complete the project in time. Whatever the projects they have been awarded by the university or by the AICT in the terms of TICU faculty collaborative research scheme, and also by the Affiliating Technical University collaborative research grant scheme. So all are under pressure because this is a time-bound project. We have to complete everything within this time limit, otherwise the money will be lapsed and it will be transferred to from a bad performing institution to a good performing institution. And of course, we have a state steering committee chaired by Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Uttarakhand, and also there are so many good academicians, industrialists are the members. Continuously, we are monitoring the performance of the project in quarter-wise with the support of the Government of Uttarakhand. Because without the support of the concerned state government, nothing is possible. Because this is the state government is the only responsible authority who has allowed the institution to participate in the projects. Now, this topic is when we are listening it from 2014-15 when our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi was and have announced the startup scheme in India, that how the talented students, the quality brains of the students can be utilized for enhancing the financial system of the our Indian government. So as I'm because since most of the participants are undergraduate students in these particular programs, international training and this internship program, I'm just going to give you a basic idea about the startups, opportunities, and how the government is supporting it. How you define it? Startup India Hub will be a single point of contact for the entire ecosystem and enable knowledge exchange and access to funding. That is in the Government of India Action Plan in January 2006, how we are going to develop the Startup India Hub. Next is, how to consolidate the current ecosystem, how to grow the ecosystem, and how to facilitate our stakeholders. So these are the some salient points. Bring all stakeholders to a common platform, value proposition for all stakeholders, connect with the global ecosystem, and next important is to stimulate others to join the ecosystem, access to information and knowledge. So these are the different objectives and features through which we can enhance the quality of Startup India. Then how to define a startup as per the Government of India definition as entity type, turnover, nature of innovation. 7 years from date of incorporation, that is 10 years for private limited company. Must not exceed 25 crore Indian rupees in any fiscal year, that is turnover. Then only you are allowed to participate. Developing new or improving existing product service offering. So what should be the nature of innovation? We have to understand this. It should be everything knowing that everybody knows that it should be a new one, so that you can get a funding opportunity and improving the if somebody has already developed the product or somebody is offering the services, then how we can improve further. And these are the some criteria. Similarly, how you can get the recognition through the Government of India recognition scheme. We did has two parts. One is between 15 to 20 minutes, one is for 24 to 48 hours. So starting from online application form, we are required to upload the supporting documents. Then the application will be evaluated also through online system mechanism. Then you will be get recognized. So what is there in when we are going to submission stage? Submit details on startupindia.gov.in, founder and team details, because of course they are going to test your credentials, entity details, business model, and IP. Similarly, after that, the team of Startup India will evaluate the proposal, and now the process is very fast. Within 48 hours, if it's suitable, then application is approved. If some query is there, then you will get an opportunity to reapply by by removing the queries because there is an expert team who is going to evaluate your proposal. So this is the way how the recognition procedure flow. Now, Startup India having this is just like a revolution going on. 27,916 startups recognized in the Government of India today. And who are the participation stakeholders? 448 districts in the 29 states and 61 territories in the different cities also. Tier 1 cities, all of you know what is Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 cities. So this is the percentage, 56, 27, 70% are participating. And as when we are going to student, when we started our engineering career, it is in our mind that I should get a very good job, having some handsome package, and I should satisfy my family. I should satisfy my teachers, parents with the quality and the salary will get after passing out from the my undergraduate program. But now the situation is different. Good talented students are quitting the jobs. They are getting good quality startups because even from the BTech level we have seen our experience shows Good students are not participating even also in the placement processes. Rather than they are focusing on having good quality innovation. They are concentrating more on higher research, higher studies, so that they can involve themselves in good R&D activities. Because if you're going to join a industry or company just after completing your graduation, it is very difficult for them to continue for higher studies and higher research. So it is not it is easy to get a job, but whether the quality of the job and your working environment satisfy our students, that is a very big important question mark. I have seen so many students, good students, rather than quitting the offer of TCS, Infosys, Wipro, they are preparing for good 1 year, 2 year for higher studies because they want to involve themselves in good quality research work. And this is such a big, very good platform, you know. So nations of job creators are as it is required for setting the new India as far as the our direction of our honorable Prime Minister. So we are expecting 3 lakhs new jobs in 2020. But everybody know that what is the problem now due to this pandemic and how we can overcome the situation after this. Because we are expecting good manufacturing companies to start their businesses in India, and also we are getting news that now some good students having good handsome packages, they are rejected by the company to join. They are not getting the offering, the joining letters. So we have to utilize our brain in such way that we can create the jobs. We can create the jobs for the new India. So 1,87,000 for direct jobs reported by Startup India recognized startups. Distribution of startups with at least one or more in the women directors. So now we have 45-45% ratio of women women participation. Now, how the government of India has simplified the process, and that we have so many. Earlier, it was very difficult to procure as per the guidelines. It used to take so much time period. Even now in the Tiku project also. Now government has simplified. That is government e-procurement. Through GEMS. There are so many ways you can procure the materials, the components in easiest way. And earlier, when you are submitting a patent to be granted, it was taking so much time. And now it is a very fast track examination. Similarly, income tax exemption is there. Similarly, you have self-certification when you are going to compile, and you can there is a exit way also, easy exit way. So these are the different mechanism that has been simplified earlier compared to 2014 to 18. That is, in 2014 we have you must have this much number of experience, you must have the number of this much of rupees, you have to submit a earnest money deposit, etc. Similarly, patent granting was a time-consuming process. Now, due to this, very fast process and support of the government of India, all these activities are very, very simplified. And even a physical inspection is very easy compared to earlier. When we're talking about the fundings, we have different funding agencies are also there, and also all are supported by the government of India finance system, and they cannot say that we cannot do like that. So we have the 10,000 crore purpose to be provided by March 2025. Out of that, we have Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, DIPP. We are talking about it is authorized for 2,200 crores. Similarly, Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI, they are committed for 1,285.7 crore. And we have some ventures capital funds also, VCFs. 27 VCFs are recognized for 180 crore disbursement. Similarly, we have this is we are having the catalyzed investment of rupees 600 crore for 142 number of startups. What the government is contributing, catalyzing the 10,000 funds for startups, like its government commitment, there is a target purpose to be made with this much Indian rupees. So accordingly, because government expectation will be only fulfilled with you people of students, with your vision, and absolutely there will be you might be seeing uh, everywhere in the technical institutions they are concentrating to they are organizing the in the form of hackathon, the startup idea competitions, innovative project competitions. So many good companies like L&T, TCS, software industries are also there, war industries are there. Every year they are inviting the innovating projects from different, even AICT is supporting organizing these activities. So our students who are doing very good in this their project implementation, they are participating there. Their idea is selected, and either industry or the government of India are supporting by any means for realizing that it is yes, it is possible. Yes, this product is possible, either in the form of product or the form of quality of service, it is possible. So accordingly, we have to prepare ourselves as a student community and as a faculty community, how we are going to motivate, how we are going to guide our students for these activities. And for the Indian startups hope, we have so many benefits like relaxation of public procurement norms, like relaxation of turnover expense I have already discussed with you. All central public sector undertakings to follow procedures and give preferential treatment to startups. As I told that Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion is also supporting that to directly register for the recognize the startups and directly register and sell on government marketplace with no requirement of turnover and experience. So it is a open market, my dear friends. If you have idea, just exercise it, try to implement it. Absolutely, there will be no problem of recognition as per our experience says. Patent relaxations. Even in this TIGU project, we are supporting in the form of the seed grant, seed research grant to the students, to the faculty for this type of implementation in the smaller level. And then even for filing the patents also, our project is supporting to the students, to the faculty. So absolutely there is no problem of as far as the budgetary framework is concerned. When we talk about patent and trademark benefits, 80% rebate in patent filing fees, 50% rebate on trademark, empaneled 1019 facilitators for free of cost filing and facilitation, government to reimburse facilitators cost, 801 applications have received 80% patent rebate, and 1226 applications have received 50% trademark rebate also. So this is how the government of India is going to recognize the startups, how the relaxation has been granted in different stages of the startup. India's largest virtual incubation platform, as you all know, the startupindia.gov.in. We have different stages is there, like we have investors are there, we have mentors also there to guide, we have intuitor there, how to accelerate the process is there, and government bodies are there to recognize and to implement. We have starting from the information discovery to curated learning programs, networking and engagement, tools and templates, application to enables. Because you are undergraduate students, all of you have some different areas of specified areas in which you are interested. So we have to consider which particular stakeholders are going to uh, concentrate on particular ecosystem. So accordingly, we have to involve on that particular category. So again, I'm talking about these are the different startup India Yatra, how so far we have achieved from different states like UP, Odisha, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, and how many districts and how many individuals, how many inclusion offers are there. They are, it is now popularized in everywhere. And as you know, hardly we are 3 to 4 years old, and now government of India is always ready in every areas of innovation to fund, to recognize, to develop in the pharma products, and because now it is doesn't matter a qualification. Now it doesn't matter how much old you are. It doesn't matter how much experienced you are, because nowadays also people studying in 11th and 12th they are having some good innovative quality of them. They are developing so many good implementing their ideas in developing new products. We have to motivate them. We have to create such an ecosystem so that in the coming future they can give us some very very good quality solution for a individual problems. As all of you might be knowing, uh, when the corona pandemic starts, now people got different types of problems. You know, you can see how fast the papers are published, very fast, because the problem is new for everybody. Whether it is theoretical area of research or it is in the form of uh, development of the products for starting from equipments to our different quality of services. Even in remote areas of different states, the students are doing very good. Like you might be knowing in the news that in Uttarakhand we have IoT Gopesar. The students or faculty have worked hard to develop the different types of sanitizing systems, PPE kits. They are distributed to the village people and the hospital peoples. So how it is important for the community, that is also very important. So these are the so far the data of the Startup India Yatra. Then we have technology-driven product startups by key industries like different countries: United States, United Kingdom, India, Israel, China. What is the range of the product startups? Like India is having 4,200 to 4,400. Similarly, technology startups by year of inception, year on year, from 2020 to 2013 to 2020. It is started from 700, now it is up to 2,100. Okay, so the Indian startup ecosystem is approaching escape velocity as per the NASCOM data. Uh, at startup incepted during 2013 to 18, overall base is a growing phase, growing at 12 to 15%. Now it has enhanced to startup added in 2018 1200. Similarly, incomes added in 2018. Total funding received by startups in 2018. That is from January to September, more than 100% year-on-year growth. So advanced technology startup, we have new direct jobs created, 40,000 new direct jobs have been created. This is not this is the NASCOM data. NASCOM is very much it is involved in our TICU project to enhance this type of activities, and they are going to continuously test the skills, not only the students but also the faculties also, where you are stand for in the first year level, and how what is our expectation in the second year, third year, final year, and when we are reaching a final year, what is our quality. So, and what is the area required to be addressed for both faculty and for the students? Like your IoT and artificial intelligence are in news. So most of the research are going on in these areas. Not only theoretical research, but also very good quality products are coming and will come in the near future. very recently you might have knowing that Professor Balasubramanian IIT Roorkee was in news for developing algorithm in the machine learning and for the brain tumor identification recognition, because it will make easy for the medical practitioners to diagnosis easily. So I'm not going to discuss on these data. This data will show how we are growing year wise and what is the expectation, how you can concentrate on progressing in this way in the different areas. Now, this is another part of the stock, how the we can for the solar technologies, keeping in mind how we can concentrate for startups. As all of you might be knowing that India is targeting to achieve 450 gigawatt renewable power generation by 2030, as per the report of MNRE, Ministry of Non-Renewable Energy. And currently the total capacity is around 90. So this is all of you might be knowing that what is the different current scenario as per the different power generation is there. And we have the different installed capacity like coal 56%, gas 7%, diesel and hydro only 12%, nuclear we have only 2%, renewable we have 23%. So also renewable contains your solar, wind, biopower, small hydro plants, waste to power. So how, and all of you knowing that how solar energy is going to give a boost for the new job creators. How? Because it is not only very easy job. We have so many areas of research also in these technologies. Now the cost is reducing day by day with the development of the new products, for the development of the for the generation of the solar energy and its utilization, maintenance, everything. So what are the different scopes of solar energy? Currently, the generation of solar energy is 31.1 gigawatt, and this will be, we are expecting by 2030 we should have 200 gigawatt. And the technology associated to the solar has big scope in the near future. What are the technology associated to the solar? We have solar water heaters, solar lanterns, household solar panel installation up to 5 kilowatt, commercial solar installation up to 100 kilowatt, solar EPC solar cell manufacturer, solar inverter dealer manufacturing, solar consultant, evaluate viability of solar power, solar plant operation maintenance, solar panel cleaning services. So these are the different areas in which you can work to develop your own startup. Every state has their, like we have Renewable Energy Development Agency. Every state have their own. That is because it is part of the, the component of the MNRE to fund, to support you in the research activities, to aware you not only the technical institutions but also in the remote areas also. So we have this Renewable Energy Development Agency are there in every state to support this type of scopes in the solar energy. These are the different types of product that might be knowing, that household solutions, community solutions, institutional solutions. Like in the household, we have solar lanterns, home lighting systems, TV and fans. We have, we have community services like street lights, microgrids, integration pumps, institutional solutions like solar power plants, grid-tied rooftop solar. Now you might be knowing that 99% government of India institutions, I'm talking about IITs and NITs, they are having their solar power plants, and they have most of them also grid tied roto solar. So this was only possible due to the support of Government of India, due to the support of MNRE. So now they are selling the electricity to the grid. So and no, it is the solar power plants. As far as the installation of solar power plants is concerned, we need the the parties who are going to give support to the in these areas, not only for generation, for transmission, distribution, and also for maintenance also. So this is one big area of concern for the Government of India and MNRE. So many good quality companies, like earlier we are seeing no thermal power plant specialist, hydropower plant specialist. We are hiring the engineers, the companies from abroad. But you'll be happy to know that we have in very good quality companies are there in India for the installation of solar power plants. Because that is only possible due to these institutions, technical institutions, to concentrate on the research and to train the manpower to make it possible. Similarly, we have on-grid solar installation and off-grid solar installation. Solar powers, as you know, it is very easy to maintain. I know it is very easy to look after, and you should have a trained manpower to operate it. In our home, in our institutions, we have solar panels installed in the rooftop, and how you have some of the inverter systems and different types of technologies now available for the controlling purpose. Um, I'm talking about the charge controller. So for maximizing the efficiency of the panels, of the generating systems, equipment involved. So if you have on, it is connected to the particular grid, then it is on grid solar installation. Otherwise, it is off grid solar installation. It is knowing. And as you know that we have solar panel, we are having a charge controller, inverter system, battery, AC load, and grid supply. So we know that this is a huge scope of research in every component. Every component. After getting the radiation from the sun, then how solar panel are utilized to generate the electricity, and how this controller is able to, with the different controller strategy, how it can change the working criterias of the inverter systems. And of course, then you have some extra energy available, then you can supply to the grid. Now the question is how the R&D activities are involved in every stages of the solar design. You don't require to establish a very big manufacturing unit, and but we need good technologies. We need good technology in every stages. Like I'm talking about the all of you might be knowing that at different places, we have different radiations, solar radiations. So it is not easy to get maximum power in every time, at every locations. Shading is there. So how, with different operating conditions, with different operating conditions, how we can increase the efficiency of the panel. We termed it maximum power point tracking. And you might be surprised, there are so many research going on, R&D activities going on maximum power point tracking of the solar system, whole system. So my panel should be able to give me maximum power. What my requirement is in the morning, in the noon, in the evening. It's not possible in the normal criteria. That's why we have to design our controller in such a way. We have to design our inverter system in such a way that we have the scope of maximum efficiency so that we can utilize it in a maximum way. This is, I'm talking about that this is a interdisciplinary area of research that is, different algorithms are developed by different engineers, professionals. With these algorithms, we are able to design a controller or to guide the controller, existing controller, in such a way that we can get maximum power easily. We have so many types of controllers, starting from conventional to artificial intelligence based controller also, but it is not very easy job to implement in the hardware form. That's why I'm talking. You people are so much talented enough to concentrate on this part. That is, I'm talking about the implementation of the maximum power point tracking algorithms, for the maximum to get the maximum power and for the maximum utilization and to improve the efficiency. We have starting from conventional controller to artificial intelligence controller, or to modify the existing conventional controller. When we are talking about the control, it might from the voltage control or current control. So which particular conventional controller, with the help of the different tuning strategies, how you can change and how to decide the proper tuning parameters. So this is a very good area of research. And this is another big problem for the optimization algorithm researchers, to develop new optimization algorithms to get the maximum power and to implement it after successful testing in the simulation stages. Because if we are not able to implement it, that means our job is not done. So we have the mixing of the different types of the researchers to develop such a platform to utilize the new algorithms for the for improvising the power or improvising the efficiency so that we can maximum utilize it. Similarly, when talking about the operation maintenance, we have solar plant operations maintenance is one of the most popular startup which ensure that solar power system gives the best possible generation. Of course, trained technical system, confirm electrical entities are only accessible to authorized personnel. Check the corrosion on the outside of the enclosures and the racking system. Handle the problem related to inverter pad and solar panel area. Can associate with several manufacturer companies. We have so many companies available in India also. So how we can tie up with them to implement the new ideas in our mind, which we have already tested in the simulation stage. We might have published so many papers in a particular new algorithm for this, but unless and if it is not implemented in hardware, nobody is going to believe this as far as solar technology is concerned. We have hybrid systems are coming, like solar, wind, uh, and depending upon the requirement, depending upon the time, you are going to select which one you will use. But when we are talking about the hybrid system, our controller should be a sophisticated, capable enough to work as per our required control strategy. I'm not on going detail of the technology. I'm just going to give you an idea how the different problems can be solved for to develop a very good startup in the solar technology. You can see in the literature, we have so many good quality papers that is available, having good hardware results available with us. But when it is going for the development, implementation stage in large level, we are not succeeded. Because working in a small system in the laboratory, getting the result, it is okay. But when we are perfectly working in a particular product development stage, we face a lot of problems. So when we're talking about operation and maintenance, because startup it depends upon in which area you are interested. One is the development, another this one is the that is I'm talking about installation phase. What is the requirement? This is the maintenance stage. So these are the different features we have to also concentrate, because if a person, a technical person, he might be very good in another technology, but if he does not know anything about the solar energy or solar power, the inverter system, the charge control system, then how he can think how to modify or how to incorporate a new technology with the existing system. That's why it required a sound technical team. So it is a mixing, and we have the different stages of the whole system, how it can help for the operation maintenance. I was talking to in this way that it is a interdisciplinary area. Computer science people, electrical people, civil people, mechanical people, all can work together. There's the new area of startup with the knowledge of computer science and information technology. This solution is optimize the resources. As I was talking about due to the development with AI and IoT, we have the possibility of finding the solutions easily. But we need the basic idea and we need the technology when we are going to apply it in a large level. Because when I'm talking about a hybrid system like solar, wind, or another source like mini hydro, so we should have knowledge about all these type of systems, wind turbine systems, its controlling methodologies. Everything is required to be focused as far as the research is concerned. Because now what is happening, our students are working, every colleges have the different laboratories. The students are coming to the laboratory classes. They are coming, the concerned technical persons are helping them to connect the circuits. They are getting the results, just writing the results and they are leaving. That is not the expectation of the outcome-based education. That's all of us knowing. Our faculty members are very well aware of this because now it is not new. So our students should utilize their knowledge for implementing that objective in the practical classes. If he is working in an emulator, solar emulator or wind emulator, he should understand what are the components in this controller, what are the components in the inverter, which type of inverter is there, and what is the current output, how it can be improved. This should be, the student should get a thorough knowledge on this. then only you can expect that with this availability, how they can utilize their knowledge, their experience of working for the last 6 months or 1 year in this system. Of course, it is not compulsory because it depends upon their interest. Because I have seen my own students working from 3rd year, they have worked on good R&D problems of the robotics and are able to publish good quality research papers in journals. So they have the talent, you have the talent, only is how you are going to utilize it based on the area of research. So when we're talking about the startup for the solar system, solar technology, it is a huge area. It is not specific to electrical or electronics. It is a common area of research for all. Computer science guys can concentrate on developing new algorithms, and electronics people can easily, they can implement these algorithms for the controller operations. And similarly, when we talk about the hybrid systems, we have the plenty role of civil and mechanical people. Like when we're talking about the software as a service solution for hydropower plants, solar power plants, and provide 16% more revenue through their optimal place. All of you might knowing why now we are utilizing less manpower in these power plants or in the industries, because most of them are now automated and they are utilizing these new algorithms, new technologies for the automated system to work. You don't have to go from your control room to actual plant of site wasting 10 to 15 minutes. You can change the control valve settings sitting in the control room itself. So there is no need to utilize the manpower. So then we have fully automatic production is optimized in real time. This solution can be combined with existing SCADA. I think all of you might be aware with the SCADA system, supervised control or automated systems for the plant control, accessing the data, real-time data, that to embed it in the algorithms and to give you a new result. When SCADA was not there, because data acquisition, of course, it is a huge area acquisition, and then also utilizing these data in our algorithms to get a solution. That is very important. Only to acquire the data is not a solution. So that's how I was talking about. It is only possible with the automatic working of the systems, whether you talk about the SCADA or the different plant controlling mechanisms, not only in the power plants, but also in the different industries also. Now, what are the different success stories of this, startup of solar technologies? One company, the Renew Power, Gurugram-based clean startup Renew Power was founded in 2015 by Sumant Sinha, a former investment banker. The renewable energy startup provides solar and wind energy solution to boost the adoption of clean energy. It claims to have more than 200 distribution solar installation sites across 35 cities in 16 states and 2 union territories in India. Earlier this year in July, Renew Power raised $300 million. So try to understand, it was established in 2015, hardly 5 years old. And this year he has already generated this much of revenue. Similarly, CleanMax Solar, a Mumbai-based solar energy startups founded by Sushant Arora, Kuldeep Jain, and Andrew Hinz in 2011. The startups provide solar energy solutions like rooftop solar for its clients in order to have them reduce energy cost, reduce carbon footprint, and achieve sustainability goals according to Crunchbase. CleanMax last raised 275 crores in a funding from UK climate investment in April 2019. Also, we have a ecosystem, EcoSense that is in Delhi. it was established only 2 to 3 years back. The guy was from, I'm telling some of my personal experience. He was a undergraduate from electrical engineering from IT Mumbai. And he is concentrating on the research activities. He's not involved in the establishment installation of the solar energy systems, but he is involved in the research activities of the solar, wind, and hybrid systems by developing different emulators, by developing different inverter systems, so that it is not, when I'm talking about R&D facilities, it is not only for PhD students. Try to understand. Most of the BTech students are doing very good quality projects in this, acquiring knowledge, understanding it clearly, and now after that they are publishing very good quality papers. You will be surprised, BTech students, because once your idea of innovation is tested in reality in the form of a research paper, and it is recognized by an international community, that will boost your confidence to go for the higher and higher technology to implement startups, tie up with the industry for the new products to be possible, or in the form of uh, property rights. Why I'm saying this? Because when we are talking about that, uh, we cannot plan in such a big way from the beginning, but we have the confidence of utilizing the either algorithm or changing a hardware structure in the inverter systems, because we, as you know, we have different types of inverter technology. So how to improvise the efficiency of the whole system, that is possible by the either the new algorithms or by the controller side or by the inverter side. So R&D area is a very huge one. So we can concentrate in, as I have listed, the different areas of startups in the solar technology. You can take one problem at a time, because now difficult thing is that we are sound enough to find out a solution. I'm not specific about the solar technology, but we are facing difficulty to find out the problem, and we will find out the problem easily when we will work on the particular system, when we will acquire the knowledge about the particular system, and when we will implement it. Because as you know that experience is learning, because unless and if we are not going to experience enough in a particular system, we cannot learn anything. And that on that platform our artificial intelligence is working. Whether you are talking about the artificial neural network, fuzzy logic, or deep learning, these things, everything are depending upon the experience, and these are giving a very big fruitful solution for every type of problem. So we have so many success stories are there. A Noida-based online rooftop solar startup, Mysoon, was founded by Gogan Barmani and Gyan Prakash Tiwari in 2015. It provides a platform to connect highly rated solar installers to develop high quality and best price solar systems to its customers. In October 2016, Mysoon raised $2.5 million in series. Can you understand? Just from 2015, within 1 year. A round led by early and growth stage investment from General Catalyst. Excuse me. Hello. 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 Similarly, Claro Energy is another startup. It's a New Delhi-based company of solar pumping solution provider, founded by Karthik Wahai, Soumitra Mishra, and Gaurav Kumar in 2011. It provides solar-powered water pumping solution to cater the agricultural needs of the rural farmers, like irrigation and drinking water to foster productivity and economic growth. In January 2019, Claro Energy raised undisclosed amount of funds from Samriddhi Funds. Previously, in February 2015, Claro Energy raised $1 million fund. So this is the real application of the technology. Mind dear students, that how it is important for the community, because most part of our India is rural India, and it is helping for the improving the agriculture needs. And when I talk about the agriculture, irrigation, we have to provide, you know, the pumping solution, water to the needs of the farmers, and how it is helping, because we have so many government projects, state government projects, central government projects for irrigation, and in agricultural sectors for when providing water throughout the years to the farmers, to so that our agricultural production never stops. That's why Claro Energy is concentrating on this part of the solar technology. Now you can add that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can be achieved. Mind of students, I'm going to give you one thing. As far this framework is concerned, when we are talking about a startup, we have never listened of before 2014 or 15 about this war. So many engineers working in reputed companies abroad, they are returning to India for their own startup they have developed, and they are very happily growing it years, and that is only possible due to the support of the Government of India policies, concerned state government policies, different bank finance sector policies. So it was not that difficult now. And as far as the solar energy is concerned, we can assure you that it has a wide area. Very large scopes are there for different problems involved, either in the solar technology or in the hybrid energy technologies. Not only for solar energy for the on-grid or off-grid solutions, but for the uh, villagers, for the community, for the agriculture purpose, and for the most importantly, I can say it is a very big area of research, interdisciplinary area of research, I can say, as far the solutions of solar energy is concerned, starting from generation to transmission, distribution, and for developing hybrid power. When you are going to connect to the grid, we have another different types of problems, so it will come, but we have to concentrate on finding a solution for that. With this, I'll wish all of you, all the students who are attending this webinar, that internship is not that you only visit a company, visit a industry. You can spend there 10 to 15 days, 20 days, or 1 month, and can get a certificate written back, give a presentation to your faculty members, passed. But now internship is a different type of culture among the undergraduate students. Whether you talk about the self-finance institutions to state government institutions to NITs, IITs, The internship are of various types. You can work under any academician, under any professor for your internship duration in particular area of research in which interested. We have, uh, you know, so many IITs are floating, inviting the applications from the UG students in these different areas of internship, and really it is very helpful. I've seen in Uttarakhand also, in so many colleges, students are working under the supervision of professors in the IITs, and you will be surprised within 1 month because they are really interested to work on their particular problem, and within 1 month or maximum 45 they are getting a solution. And you in ITs you might be knowing, or NITs, industries or companies are coming for selection in the to work in the internship because they know that you are the future and you have the talent to give the better solution for the existing problems in any of the technology we have. So finally, uh, I'll wish all of you all the best, all the students all the best, and you can um, work in some problems as we discussed in the startups of solar energy, and can find out a particular solutions, uh, and we can have a publications in the form of paper or patent. Institutions are there to support you in the forms of fundings, to support you in the form of research, to support you in the forms of product development. Finally, I am very much thankful to Dr. Samuel. He has also helped me for my preparation of this talk, and the authorities of the Tulaj Institute for giving me the opportunity to share my experience in this platform for the students and for the faculty members. Thank you so much. If any questions,
Um,
please.
yeah, Manoj sir, it was really wonderful presentation, and I must say that you have briefly given the insight to the all audience on startup values as well as like how government of India have been moving more toward moving the India vision for like global innovation and toward R&D. We have jumped for the EODB ranking with 63 rank, and we have jumped by 79 in just 6 years. This was really a great achievement for the whole India, as well as we are considered to be third largest startup ecosystem in the world. And with the patent, we are in the seventh number. With global innovation rank, we are in the 52. But certainly, with new policies and all, we are going to have like more leap forward, and that kind of thing we may be seeing in the coming years, even for the solar, for the research, for the development, and for the innovation. We have 2 3 questions, and I will just put first on the screen.
Okay, good afternoon. He is Anuj Thapyal. Hi, Anuj. Uh, Great honor to have you, sir. I am more curious about the term biopower in the field of renewable energy and also its pros and cons. Can we ignite this regarding this? Okay, Anuj, biopower, I can tell you that it is a very, in the coming days, there are so many problems you have in the biopower, and it has not been explored yet. And you can concentrate on the, just like we are talking about the solar energy, biopower has some problems related to the source and also generation stage and also in the control methodologies. You can concentrate because it is up to you on which particular area you are going to concentrate. But we have enough opportunities as far the bioenergy is concerned, and we don't have so many literatures available like our solar technology is possible. I can say this is a very big good area of startup as far bioenergy is concerned. Thank you.
So we have one more question from Mohan sir.
Hello, Mohan sir. How are you? Nice to see you. Excellent presentation. I is connecting solar power until with the grid too. Is solar battery cost effective compared to sharing excess power to grid? Solar power for transportation industry. Yes, sir. You might be knowing that, okay, let me first consider issues in connecting solar power unit with the grid too. No, there are so many solutions now. It is available. for connecting our available solar power to the grid. Problem is there when we are talking about the load sharing purpose, and the problem is there for when you're talking about the efficiency of power transmission. But now the problems are sorted out with the latest technologies, I can say. It is not a big problem, but yeah, cost is high. Solar battery cost is, but now so much research is going on in the fuel this battery from fuel cell. We are going to have different types of materials and also the chemicals used for the battery to reduce the cost of the batteries as far as the solar cell is concerned. And of course, let me what the third questions.
Uh, Just
Mukesh,
putting,
can
sir.
you tell me the
Yeah,
third question
yes,
for
yes,
talking
just
about
putting,
solar?
sir. Just putting.
It is not in the screen. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
solar power for transportation industry. Yeah, it is all of, sir, you might be knowing. Although in India, it is not in that category that plentifully we have utilized, but in the US and Europe, it has already been implemented in the transportation industry a lot, and we are hoping that very soon it will be it will be implemented in large scale in India also. Because in India, what is the problem is that we have the very we are lagging in the technical manpower of operation and maintenance of these for the transportation purpose industry also. So now people are working, so many industries are working on it to sort out these problems, and I hope that very soon it will be successfully implemented in India. Yeah.
We have one more question, sir. This will be the last one.
Hi, Narinder. The extraction of rare earth metals by mining cause pollution and problems of recycling. Is also, is there any scope of startups in this direction? Okay. Mining cause pollution. Yeah, this is also I'm talking about Narinder. This is also a very good problem, because as I have told you, it is difficult to get a problem. The pollution emitted by these rare earth materials, it is huge enough, and it is affecting our whole ecosystem. So you can work on reducing. I think we have the civil engineering people who are working on this environment and pollution level. They can have very good answer on this type problem. But yeah, it is a good area, a problem in which we can work to find out a solution. And yes, of course, it has a very good area of developing a startup. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. And I'll hand over the session to Dr. Samuel. And before he take the mic, I'll just uh, briefly tell about like our next expert, Dr. Raman Sharma, will be taking the session on Saturday. He is the senior scientist at CSIR NERI and will be talking on opportunities for sustainable green tech startups. I wholeheartedly thanks you, sir, for taking the session, and to my whole team, Renu, Ritesh, Monica, Priyanka, Dr. Samuel, and to Tula's team, for organizing such a wonderful session and to having that kind of people on a single platform. Dr. Samuel, I will hand over the session to you. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Panda sir.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
very much, sir. You have find out time for this event. Sir, it's very nice presentation and nice talk. You have covered almost all the regarding startup and solar energy startup especially. That is very good, sir. So I thankful to you, and I thank Mukesh, tech counselor, Ms. Renu Thaplial, for this organizing this event. So I thank you all, Mukesh.
Yes, sir.
So do I, so tomorrow session is with Dr. Raman Sharma.
Yes, sir. It will be on the Saturday. I think tomorrow is Thursday. Thursday and Friday will be off for the whole month, and on
Yeah.
Saturday we will have Dr. Raman Sama with us.
So you have 2 day break, and after that
Yes, sir.
you meet at
Uh,
Saturday on
on
1
Saturday.
p.m.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly at 1. And he'll be taking the session on opportunities for sustainable green tech startup. He's a wonderful speaker and is the senior scientist at CSI NERI, Delhi.
And I request participant to please mark your attendance on this online link, so we can view your attendance and give your certificate according to that.
Yeah, sure. And this link will be activated till 1 hour, and we'll close it at 3:30 p.m.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.